Hola and boa tarde mundo. Today we're going to take you on a journey down the Silver Coast. This is where we live and we've experienced quite a few of the beaches and coastlines around here. We want to show you some of our favourites and some of the best things to do around here. Right now Story is navigating the rocks. We're at the lighthouse now. We're about as far west as you can go in Peniche, and this is the view we're seeing. It's absolutely fantastic, and just over in the distance you can spot Balengas Island. You need to take a boat to get there. We were planning on going over to Balengas Island on one of these boats, but it looks a bit perilous, and so you can't swim, can you? I actually didn't know this about you. I didn't know you couldn't swim, no. So probably not the best thing to do with Nanny. We can just watch other people bounce across the waves. There are two boats you can take to get over there. This one is the slow boat, it takes 40 minutes, and there's a fast boat which is 20 minutes as well. They go 2 times a day. It's something we will do in the future, isn't it, Sash?
Yeah.
We've been talking about it, even when Omar was here we were going to do it, but the sea conditions were too rough.
Yeah, they didn't want to take a young child.
Oh yeah.
It was too rough for the baby.
That's true. They actually warned us, they said it might be a bit too rough for your child, so come another day. So if you're starting a journey here and you're looking for this lighthouse location, it's called Cavureru. And the whole rocky coastline leading up to it is fantastic. Really unique geology. I'm fascinated to know how some of these rocks formed. If you are coming up this end though, it is pretty much just for this viewpoint. It's worth it, but there's not much else here apart from some toilets. But there's plenty of walking you can do. The rest of the family have abandoned me, so I'm walking along this rocky coastline by myself. It's so fantastic here, the views are so amazing, but Story was getting a bit fed up, and also it's pretty dangerous here. Let me give you a quick example. I'm just walking along here, exploring the edges, and if you're not looking where you're going, you can quite easily fall to your death. And that's not the only place you could fall to your death. There are fatal drops everywhere. And I know I say this a lot, but this is typical Portugal. It's what I like about Portugal actually. It's up to you to take care of your own safety, but they allow you to go and explore these places without restriction. I can't lie, I am getting a bit of vertigo standing here. Right now I'm outside Cruz dos Remédios, and this is the view. You really do have to look carefully where you're walking. You can ask anybody that knows me, I'm not scared of heights, but today my legs feel like jelly. I wonder if that happens after you have kids. You start getting more worried about stuff. So I've been walking along this coast now for about an hour, and I haven't laid eyes upon any surface yet. And if you've ever heard of Peniche before, you'll probably know of it as a bit of a surface haven. That's because they're all congregating in Balear, which is where Sasha is at the moment. Now I've just walked down to Porto de Areia Norte, which is probably the first bit of sand you come to after you've left the rocky coastline. People are enjoying the beach here. Sand is really fine. If you look over there though, the waves look pretty rough. You could probably surf on those actually. So this is probably why no one's surfing here. Way too much seaweed. It stinks. One thing I've noticed about the beaches further away is that dogs are allowed again, even in the summertime. And look at that sea spray coming off the water. That's like a typical sight of the Silver Coast for me. We've arrived at Baleal. This is one of our favourite places normally, but today, super packed. I'm looking for my family. Can't believe how busy this is. It's a weekday as well. Okay, so it turns out they've abandoned that beach due to it being too busy. So I'm going to meet them up and see what the plan is now. So the plan changed dramatically. We decided to just wait another day and come down to one of our favourite beaches. What happened? You got wet? You got hit by a wave?
Big wave.
Nanny is conked out over there in the food zone. Story's trying to decide if she's a fan of the water today or not. You still having fun?
Yeah, let's try again.
Go on then, go for it. I think the general theme for us when it comes to beaches is the less people there are, the quieter it is, the cleaner it is, the better it is. That's why this beach on the Silver Coast is one of our best. Praia Rei Cortesu. There's definitely something magical about watching those waves out there. Look how strong and tall they are. Here comes a big wave. Whoa, it got my feet. Ah, it's cold. Look how empty the beach is. Just a couple of other people and families, that's it. Nature. You can just hear the power of the water. Sasha and I have been talking about how amazed we are at people that live their life out at sea. People that sail around the world together, especially with their families. You see people doing it. I don't know enough about the sea, and I feel like it's just so scary looking out at it. I'm not somebody that gets nervous easily. I'm happy to drive anywhere in the world, but when it comes to getting on the water, different game. How fantastic would that be though?
My mum's trip here in Portugal is actually coming to an end. This is her last full day with us. It's gone so quick. She was only here for 9 days. Wasn't long enough really. And she wishes that she was staying longer. My mum absolutely loves the beach. It's her favourite thing, her favourite place to be. She could sit on the beach for hours, which she's doing right now, just listening to the waves crashing. This is my mum's idea of paradise, it really is. And I'm just really happy that we were living here in this part of Portugal, this close to the sea and the Atlantic Ocean, and experience this raw beauty with us. What have you found? Wow, pretty stones they are, aren't they?
We've been doing some research on this coastline, and apparently it runs for 150 kilometres uninterrupted. So if the tide wasn't there, you could probably walk all the way along until you got to the bottom of Porto. You can't even see it, it just disappears.
It's a little bit unclear as to where the boundaries of the Silver Coast actually starts. Some maps were saying from Peniche to Porto, just below Porto, and others were saying some of the Lisbon coastline was included. So it could be from Lisbon to Porto.
Either way, it's a big coastline.
Yeah. Put your hands down.
That's it, keep your arms up.
Woo!
There we go, look at that. Need a bit more practice, I think. There you go. Right, spin around, ready, woo! No doubt though, what an amazing place to raise a child. Now it's looking like the tide is getting closer and closer to Nanny, so I think we'll go over there and help her pack up. We've just arrived at the beautiful Foz walkway. This is one of the first things we discovered when we first came to the Silver Coast to do some exploring. These beautiful wooden boardwalks that go all along the coast give you a fantastic view out to the Atlantic Ocean. There's some fabulous holiday homes here too. Imagine the view you get from there at sunset. Some amazing high-end properties up here too with infinity pools. Wow, different lifestyle. These guys in the RV have got a good idea. Beautiful place to stop for the night. What's happening, Story?
Pandas eat bamboo.
Pandas eat bamboo? Where did this come from? Did you see some bamboo?
Some grassy bamboo.
Oh.
Sticks.
Well, you're right, pandas do eat bamboo. Well done.
They roll downhill.
Yeah? They roll down hills today. You saw-
Panda.
What else do pandas eat?
Then bamboo.
Yeah.
Bamboo cane. Then
Bamboo cane.
now he eat bamboo.
Just all variants of bamboo, yeah? It really is a magical walk up here. So peaceful, not many people either. And from here you can see where we were earlier today. Praia Ray is over there. So even though we absolutely love living on the Silver Coast, it's not the perfect place to live, and there's a reason for that. Anybody that's lived here for any period of time knows about the fog. There's something about the geography of the land that creates this kind of mist that clouds up the sky quite often in the year. So even when your weather forecast looks nice and sunny, you might get down to the beach and find that it's covered in fog for the first 2 or 3 hours of the day, or maybe the last few hours when it should be sunset. So definitely, if you're looking for more consistent sunshine, you have to go below Lisbon, down to the Blue Coast and down to the Algarve. We actually experienced that just the other day. We came down to the lagoon with Story to do some surfing in the water, and for the first hour that we were here, it was just completely fogged over. You could barely see a couple of 100 meters, and there was a period of time where you couldn't see even about 10 meters. It didn't take long to clear, but if you were only around for an hour or so, you would miss out on that window of sunshine. In Portuguese, this area is called Costa Da Prata, which also means the coast of silver, and it's definitely got its benefits and its problems, but it's a lovely place to live. Enjoying the view, Story? Enjoying the view?
Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Still talking about pandas.
Are you? It's all the bamboo around, isn't it?
So pretty.
Do you remember the first time we saw this, Sash?
Yeah.
We were like, oh wow, I wonder if we could ever live here
Yeah,
one
no.
day. Here we are. Nanny's having a little moment of reflection up here by herself, enjoying the sound of the sea. This is her heaven. We're making slow progress along this path because there's just so many opportunities to stop and take photographs. It's too beautiful. When we came here yesterday, you could barely see past that rock. And look at that. Just found a private little beach down there, obviously exposed with the low tide. If you're feeling adventurous, have a few hours all to yourself. And we're coming up to the end of the path now. Lovely walk. I think Story's done now.
Yeah, she wants to go home now. Let's go home.
Look at that grumpy face.
Are you grumpy?
Why are you being grumpy, bud? So we've just returned home, some beautiful light. The sun hasn't quite set yet. We live near Caldas, which is inland from the coastline here, but still considered the Silver Coast. Definitely a more rural life here. Which chicken is your favourite chicken?
That one.
Yeah? Which one's that?
Chick one.
The baby chick.
Come inside.
What do you want to show me in here?
There's maybe rats.
The maybe rats, yeah, because it's rural life story. Sometimes rats come in here, don't they?
I'm really scared.
Don't be scared. We saw one once, didn't we? Well, let's spend more time with the chickens then. Come outside. The only one that will allow us to pick her up, isn't she?
I'm like, oh, can I get one?
She's like, I'm missing out on the food.
This one. I'm like, can I this one? I'm like, can I this one?
You can try story.
Okay. Hold it gently. Aww. Hold it gently.
Let go.
No, not yet, not yet.
Let me see if she can get a picture.
What?
Too late.
She went flap.
She escaped, didn't she, story?
How on the small one?
The small ones have always been difficult to catch, haven't they?
Let's try.
I'll I'll try, but I can't promise anything.
You try.
I'll bet you are under the neck.
So if there was one thing that we weren't really sure about before we moved here, it was how rural the life could be on the Silver Coast. All you need to be is about 10-15 minutes inland from the sea and you get that central Portugal experience. People farming the land, getting your fresh vegetables, lots of space around you, and that kind of farming community where people bring vegetables to your door when they've got an abundance of them. That all happens here, and that's something that we weren't expecting moving to the Silver Coast. And without a doubt, your money stretches much further here than it would, let's say, in the Algarve. And we haven't even spoken about some of the other key areas on the Silver Coast that we've enjoyed over the last year. The world famous Nazaré, where they do the massive surf competitions. The biggest waves in the world are up there. Surfers come from all over to try and tackle them. And it's not just about the waves, the town itself, the fantastic views and scenery, and of course the beaches. You've got the little local gem, São Martinho de Porto, which is amazing. We had no idea it existed. We found it on Google Maps as a shell-looking cove, and we thought, let's go down there and see if it's any good, and realised that, considering how good it is, more people should know about it. A couple of things I really like about São Martinho de Porto is it's a bit of a geographical wonder. Despite the rough and wild Atlantic coast smashing into the bay, you've got this beautiful shell-shaped cove which protects the waters and makes it a little bit calmer, so it's easier for children to splash around in the water and you don't have to worry so much about the big tides. And it's not just about the beach too. You can take an amazing hike up either side and get right up on top where the lighthouse overlooks the bay to get a really, really unique perspective. I just love that area, it's really nice. And of course you got our favourite areas, the Lagoa de Obidos, Bom Sucesso Beach as well. We spend a lot of time there because the water comes right in and warms up so Story can paddle in it. And also it's very, very shallow. It's great for kids as well. And it's very local to us. I was going to ask you if you're happy, Story, but I don't need to.
So Mum, you've been to a few beaches now while you've been here. Which has been your favourite? Can you pick one?
I liked today's, what's it, something Ray? The Ray beach?
Ray Cortazzo.
Cortazzo.
Yeah.
That was my favourite because there's not many people on there.
Yeah.
And then after that, Foz,
Foz do Aurelio Lagoon.
Bello,
Okay.
and then San Martino.
You're just going to name them all, aren't you?
No, I didn't like Peniche.
No, it's too busy.
It's too busy, too noisy, too crowded.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good feel about Peniche. There's too many surfers around.
I think it's safe to say Nanny's had a good time here in Portugal. We've spent most of our time talking about the Silver Coast local to us here, but even when we were up in central Portugal, because it goes so far up north, we were experiencing the Silver Coast up there too. One beach in particular that was really cool was the one opposite Aveiro, which was called Costa Nova, and they had the really cool beach huts outside. They were houses, but they looked a little bit like English beach huts with the kind of nautical colours and themes. Obviously Aveiro is known as the Venice of Portugal, so you've got the boats going down the rivers. Do you remember in the winter time we visited a couple of beaches on the Silver Coast, Praia de Mira?
Yes,
That
I like
was,
that one.
Yeah, that was really, really deserted.
Though I've read online that beach is actually quite a popular beach
Oh,
in the
really?
summer. Yeah.
Because when we visited, it was just us and the seagulls.
Yeah, it was really nice, it was. And also, I liked the other side of that town as well. It had a big duck pond,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was really different to what I thought we were going to go to. So it was a nice surprise, that town.
Yeah, worth visiting. And then finally, Figueira de Foz. Now, in my opinion, Figueira de Foz is the biggest beach I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
It's
and
so deep.
really big waves, isn't it?
It is, but my journey from the town to the sea took so long. But if you go far enough along, it gets a bit rocky and it gets a little bit more wild.
Yeah.
And it was a nice place to visit, especially
Yes.
off season.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're considering moving up to the Coimbra area, that's probably one of the closest beaches you can go to.
That's where we used to go.
Yeah.
That was like about an hour's drive from where we used to live, and it was our closest beach. That, Figueira de Foz and Aveiro were our top two beaches then.
So it's a massive coastline. There's lots of opportunities to find the perfect space for you. And I hope if you come down to the Silver Coast, you'll check out some of them too. We're going to end today's video. I hope you've enjoyed Nanny's trip to Portugal. We've loved having her here.
Yes.
And don't forget to watch right to the end of the video to see a preview of the weekend vlog Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for us, please, it really helps. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
That's my baby.
That's your baby, is it? Oh, that's nice. Whose baby are you? Are you Mummy's baby?
Yeah, I'm mommy.
Mummy's my baby, isn't she?
We're going to have a full day out exploring Arabada National Park. We decided to start the day at our favourite beach. Story, are you enjoying your breakfast picnic? What are you eating?
Strawberries.
You found a funny one?
Yeah.
What's funny about it? Is that the sound it makes? Now it's time for a sunset walk. Perfect little memories. Run as fast as you can. Go, go.